This is the Lamzu Inca, and in my opinion, it's the Zowie ZA wireless that you should actually get. This thing is a sub 40 gram relaxed claw grip monster, similar in style of shape to the Zowie ZA series, but even smaller and slimmer than the smallest ZA13DW. What that means is you get a rather narrow mouse with quite flat sides, a rare biased hump that supports the lower half of your palm, and it's a shape that's really designed to be natural feeling with a relaxed claw position, thanks to that back hump and its low clicks. There's no grooves all over the body, with kind of a general rounded shape that allows you to place your fingers wherever you want on it. It really feels excellent for relaxed claws, for smaller to medium-sized hands, with solid support for my palm that actually fills it out quite evenly, but not too much volume. I think this shape is great for claw grippers who want a good balance between support and flexibility. As for fingertip grippers, it's a solid choice too, especially if you like to have a higher click and higher body to hold on to. For palm gripping this, I am absolutely not a fan. That's because the clicks are low and the hump is high and in the back, which makes it very obtrusive to place your whole hand evenly onto the mouse in a palm grip. And it just feels like the shape kind of gets in the way, which is fine because this was never meant for that. As for size recommendations, I think this is going to be a great fit for fingertip grippers with hands bigger than 16 or 17 centimeters long, and claw grippers for hand sizes around 17 to about 21 centimeters long, since my 19.5 centimeter long hands are almost at the limit of what can actually claw grip this comfortably. As for other things, the very light 40 gram nature of this mouse with no holes all around is great, and I'm happy to say that the build quality is quite excellent. There's really no flex or no creaking unless you press extremely hard on it, which isn't a fair assessment. Plus, the weight is pretty balanced and the CG is in the center, though not all the weight is concentrated in the middle, so it's not the lightest feeling 40 gram mice ever, but it still feels plenty light and plenty balanced. And battery life is actually pretty okay if you keep the polling rate under 4000 Hz. So 1K or 2K, this thing lasts for a couple of weeks of pretty heavy use. But if you run it at 4K or 8K, do expect to charge it more often as expected. The clicks are Omron opticals, which you might or might not like. It's the same switches you find in the Hitscan Hyperlight and the G Pro Superlight 2. And if you're wondering how these clicks feel like and you don't have a Lamzu Inca to try at your local shop, you can just try the Logitech G Pro Superlight 2, which is everywhere, and the clicks will feel somewhat similar. What that means is you end up having a very chunky, tactile, snappy switch that feels a little metallic and there's a little bit of pinging, which I personally like. I think it feels very crisp and very tactile and gives a lot of feedback, but many people on Reddit actually don't like Omron opticals, so completely subjective. There is no pre or post travel with this, which is impressive, and they're super consistent throughout, so no matter where you place your fingers, they feel pretty good. I have to report though, there is a little bit of sideways wobble that's noticeable with the clicks, but because they're so separate, they're not going to overlap and get stuck. The scroll wheel feels fine. I think they're just average. They could be a little crisper, but the rubber texture on them is some of the grippiest that I've felt. The thumb buttons are fine. They're crisp and they don't have pre-travel, but they do have a bit of that squishy post-travel, and they do have a bit of that sideways movement, which you might care about. I personally don't think it's a major deal breaker, so not an issue for me. I have to say, the coating of this mouse is also really solid with a lot of grip. It's not quite as good as something like the Razer Viper V3 Pro just yet, but it's very good and I think it's quite up there. The feet on these mice that come by default are also on the fast side rather than the control side, but they're still full-sized, and if you want to save even more weight and you want to reduce the drag even further, you probably want to consider changing these to dot skates. Compared with its main contemporary competitors, aka the 40 gram club of the Hitscan Hyperlight and the Pulsar X2 Crazy Light, this Inca is a solid pick, especially because it stands out with this ZA style shape that makes it the most suitable out of the three for relaxed claw grips. All around, it's brilliant, and I like this gaming mouse quite a bit. I think its high performance and great shape make it one of the best relaxed claw grip shapes right now, and honestly, I think its biggest victory is that it's a Zowie ZADW killer. It's just cheaper, better value, better performance, and more updated. Subscribe!